Welcome, my friends, to AI Advantage Recap for 2025. For those of you who pay attention to the channel, you probably saw my post earlier about this awesome program that is absolutely free, put together by Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, and a lot of great speakers. It's probably something you want to attend. If you're serious about the world of your music business, your creative business, it's important that you get tooled up and kitted up for the world of AI. Way beyond the Sunos and the Udios. I don't know if that's a bad word now. The Sunos. Well, those of you who are creatives, you know what I'm talking about with our recent drama. But let's jump straight into the action. So we're going to be having roughly 2.5 to 3 hours of free coaching and training daily. Dean and Tony have put this together, and I've attended a lot of their seminars in the past. And if you know a little bit about either of these guys, you know that they deliver, and deliver they did. So today, the very first speaker was Dean, and Dean framed AI as the greatest leverage opportunity since the Industrial Revolution. That's a big statement. Positioning today's professionals as the bridge generation, between the pre and post AI eras. He also introduced 4 levers, the 4-lever framework, which is you got to activate AI, you got to accelerate with AI, you got to amplify with AI, and augment. And he talks about how you can use this mindset to systemically integrate AI into your daily workflows, drawing from his history, scaling, he's a real estate guy into finance, health, business. He's got a lot of bestsellers. And he emphasizes that AI's true power lies not in replacing humans, but in expanding capacity. So Dean has a very bold goal through all of this. He says he wants to help us get 15 hours back per week. Think about that. 15 times 52, that gets to about 780 hours back annually. That's a lot of hours. Because when you think about it, you work 40-hour work weeks, right? So that's about 20 weeks back. That is a bold claim. And he says you can achieve this by training AI on your personal patterns and goals. Now, let me be the first one to tell you it is absolutely possible, because I have done this. It is amazing. I had tasks that would take me months to complete, months. But with the power of artificial intelligence, prompting it sensibly, introspectively, asking, what are my real bottlenecks? What are my real problems in the process? Whether it's an administrative process, whether it's a musical process, whether it is an art-driven process. It used to take me months and almost a quarter to get certain artworks done. Now, with great prompting, it is greatly reduced. So Dean gave us some insights. He's given us that mindset to sensitize us to what we could do with artificial intelligence. Now, if you attended the session, the YouTube chat was very rowdy, with a lot of people saying, you're just talking, give us more, give us more. But what people fail to realize is you need to hear about the basics and understand the possibilities. So the possibilities, that's kind of what Dean went for in the beginning. Now, building on the possibilities, he likened AI as the new tractor of modern work. For those of you creatives, Suno, Toonie, Lander. Let me speak about Lander as a mastering tool. Ridiculously cuts off chunks of time you would have spent otherwise. And it still does a great job. Ozone, while not entirely AI, it's another form of technology. So the idea is that AI is the new tractor. We're the bridge generation, and we're going to reclaim back a bunch of our time. Now, the 4 levers, one more time. The 4 levers: simply activate, accelerate, amplify, and augment. You got to activate AI. How do you activate your AI? By getting it trained on you. Getting it trained. You know, a lot of folks, they don't train their AI, so their AIs, they're not a dumb terminal, but they're not as smart as my AI is on me. My AI is smart on things concerning me. If I had my AI to hand, I would show you how I converse with my AI. But anyway, I digress. Let's stick to the plan. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you that. But you got to activate your AI by training it. Then you got to accelerate. But how do you train your AI about you? You stop being scared of, oh, someone's going to steal my information. No, there's a way you can make your AI space a walled garden. You can protect it. You can say nothing goes out. It just stays here. And I'm not saying tell it everything under the sun like your bank account. No, no, no. But you gotta train your AI on the things you want it to do. So for me, my AI knows a lot about my music. It knows a lot about my struggles. And if I wanted AI to craft anything on my behalf, it knows, oh, what would Phil have done? He would have done that. He would have done that. See what I'm saying? So the 4 levers, again, you got to activate AI. Then you got to accelerate decisions through clarity. Give your AI very clear prompts and pretty much put things on automate as much as possible. Amplify your reach with content at scale. Now you can have a faceless channel if that's you still hiding, but you can also create content in your own style, in your own words, in your own voice, your own music, you know the drill. And lastly, augment your capabilities. Augmenting your capabilities as though you were hiring a digital dream team. Imagine having Einstein and Bach and Mandela and Jobs on your team. Are you kidding? You would have a world-class team of genius. But that is what you're carrying around in your pocket. A lot of you don't know that. You're carrying around like excessive brilliance in your pocket, like mind-blowing brilliance that has never been seen since the face of the earth. Imagine a tool that can pass the bar exam and you're carrying it around. Hey, Notley Jenno, how you doing? Good to see you, man. It's a very quiet evening, as everyone has cried uncle from the beatings of the day. But yeah, we're here. So good to see you. But these 4 things will definitely change the game for anyone getting into this new world of AI. The second speaker was Zack Cass. And Zack is a visionary. He's one of the early founders of the OpenAI movement. He had a very grounded forecast of AI's trajectory. He talked about being positive. There's a lot of negativity, especially in the creative community, which is just very sad. But he said, have a positive outlook. And he outlined exponential trends like AI costs dropping 9 times 900 annually, and task complexity doubling every 4 to 5 months. What AI could do 5 months ago is like twice as complex as it was back then. So he delivered a very visionary speech, which I would encourage everyone to go back and listen. For those who are asking, where is the seminar happening? That the seminar for tomorrow is going to be on Dean's page, Dean Graziosi. Just put the @. You'll find him on YouTube. But I'm telling you, if you're there to learn, just hone in on what is being said and you'll be amazed. But again, Zack delivered a really powerful speech. He opened with a powerful idea. The cost of intelligence is falling faster than ever before. And we're on the edge of human level reasoning at scale. But the real question isn't what AI can do, it's what we choose to do with it. And he drew a line between intelligence and wisdom, reminding us that access is no longer scarce. We have intelligence. What matters is the wisdom, what to do with it. What matters now is how we apply that intelligence. And he talked about discernment and empathy. And his message was simply lead with hope and reason. AI won't take your job, but someone with AI using it to their advantage with optimism, with courage and clarity might very well take your job. So redefine what makes you indispensable. It's your humanity. What I like about what Zack said was something I've been talking about on this channel for a long time. It's the big idea of the human in the loop always being in charge, always being the boss. And it's a simple mindset. It's a moat mindset. And the moat mindset, I gave it that name, but he talked about building a moat. So AI can write code, emails, and reports. So what good are you? That's the question. You got to build a moat around where you are precious, where you have value. AI cannot replace your human connection, your trust, your tone, your vibe. AI does not have your lived experience. AI wasn't in the alleyway when that guy with that huge submachine gun was facing me and a Mercedes spraying that car in front of me, and heaven help me, I escaped. But AI doesn't have that story to tell. AI doesn't have the gut instinct, the intuition. You get what I mean? AI doesn't know, oh, I can tell that's probably going to be a major 7 flatted fifth, but instead I'm going to replace it with a diminished 7th on my left and a sharp 9 flat 5 on my right. You see, while it can reason certain things, it cannot choose to defy predictability like you as a human can. As a human, you're so powerful. So that's your moat, the defensive wall around your value. The 3 things Zack really hammered on is 1, revisit your mission and values. Get your mission straight. Get your values straight. Some people have no mission. You should have a mission as a musician, as a creative, as a professional. What are your values? What are the things you wouldn't compromise? And then define automation boundaries. I will not automate sending an email to my kid or to my significant other. You get what I'm saying? And then lead publicly with optimism. Don't be scared of AI. Don't be scared of telling people your perspective. A lot of musicians are still hiding in the basement, which is why I give a shout out to Jordan Rudess and Mohini Day and Grimes and the like for coming out and saying, hey, we believe this can be applied as a tool. I believe this can be applied. Use my voice, but give me my royalties. Whatever you stand for, don't hide, don't duck and dive. So the very first exercise that I would advise you to do, this is an exercise I put together. Why don't you take a screenshot of this and try it out? Try it out. And this exercise is, I'll try and post them when this is over. But write a 150-word letter from future me on November 6, 2026. Just copy all this text. But you know AI has computer vision. It can read. You just take a screenshot right now and then just dump it into GPT, and it will create this. But I want you to begin using AI as a lever. See that? I want you to just copy this piece. You can actually tell the AI, act on the red outline. Just take a screenshot, feed it to the beast, and if you've trained your AI enough, as Dean was suggesting, your AI knows you, so it can imagine what your future me would be saying. You get what I mean? And then one breakthrough you shipped, because a lot of you just piling up songs and content. You ain't sharing it with nobody. That's not how to grow. You got to share one breakthrough. Could be a song. It could be an app. I know our buddy NLJ has been doing stuff with vibe coding. It could be anything. Doesn't have to be music alone. And then one moat that you built. Empathy versus code. For example, empathy is greater than code. A mindedness. So definitely you want to listen to what Zack had to say. Great thought leader. Definitely the reason why he went after Dean is to kind of give everyone that visionary insight. Just so much great stuff he shared. Moving on to Igor. Igor's got a channel on YouTube and you'll find him. And he demystified AI adoption by defining it as a pattern recognition and reproduction engine. And he's so right on the money. Don't we see that with Suno? But some AIs are better at pattern recognition. I really don't know how Suno crafted their AI tool, how they fed it, how they built it. I don't know, but it is so good at pattern recognition, ridiculously. If you understand the technicalities in singing, those riffs, especially those R&B gospel riffs, when I'm listening to Suno doing them, I'm just shaking my head. This thing is crazy. It understands patterns so well. It's basically taking the pentatonic scale and regurgitating it in every riff and run. It's just truly unbelievable. But as Igor said, this is what AI is great at. And humans, as the source of those patterns, need to understand you can train your pet minion, your GPT, your whatever it is, and you can train it to recognize patterns that you're feeding it. Textual patterns, musical patterns. We see that in personas with Suno. Suno, you got a persona, it's locked in the pattern, it's just going to give you fire for fire, which is just ridiculous. Igor also brought up a few important points. He said, focus on compounding time savings and master a few workflows deeply. Don't go crazy, get in every single AI tool that exists. No. He just reminded us that you could have tons of AI tools, but you could compress them down into just a few. He brought the energy from philosophy into practice by reminding us that AI is only powerful when it gives us back our most precious asset, time. Too many people collect tools but lose track of outcomes and, again, measure success not in prompts written but in hours regained. You got to have those minions working for you. While you're asleep, your minions should be working for you. Today I gave my AI a task and walked away and came back. It's so gratifying and rewarding to just have the tool work for you. You're not abusing any human. There's no labor of any untouchable involved. It's just technology working for you. And then, like I said, pattern recognition is important. He says pattern in, pattern out. You got to feed your AI with your authentic examples, your style of writing songs, your style of speaking, your style of responding to emails, your style of problem solving, because I have a very unique style of problem solving. I first of all try to solve it as a human before feeding it to the AI, and I give it some very specific examples. So whatever your pattern is, your AI is going to learn from you. Practical wins that Igor talked about, summarizing complex documents quick. I remember giving this thing a massive spreadsheet full of all sorts of data, and I was shocked. This was years ago. I was blown away at what GPT could do. Another thing that it could help you do is deep research on any subject. You want to research the beginnings of Suno. You want to research UMG's power play. You can use AI to do that task for you. And also, he talked about personal avatar videos, which is fun. So he demonstrated these quick wins, and he just said, be a measurer of the minutes saved. Model your own writing style and build one agentic task this week. I created an exercise to help those of you who were wondering, what's he talking about? He's just going on and on. He wasn't going on and on. He was making some really great points. So, to illustrate this, you could carry out this exercise, upload a one-page document. It could be an invoice. It could be an email thread of even 10 emails if you've got a paid subscription to GPT. It could be a standard operating procedure. But just paste that in and just say, turn this document into a reusable avatar prompt that I can paste into GPT to reply like me. Your tone, signature phrases, any decision rules, and see what output you get. All right, the fourth speaker was Allie K. Miller, and she introduced the 3P framework, which is what I will dwell on the most: people, process, and product. On people, AI acts as tireless researchers and reviewers. On process, custom code automates back office drudgery. And I've demonstrated this on the channel. I've shown you how to build your own songwriting tool. But today, I think what I'm going to show you is how to build your own email responder, which will be fun just for the illustration. And she demonstrated that a lot of this back office stuff can be automated. And she talks about removing the bottleneck. The bottleneck could be you, the founder, or you, the person in the center or at the epicenter of all the chaos that goes on. Remove yourself. How do you remove yourself from the busyness? How do you free yourself? Code and agents. And you don't have to be a coder. You know, she mentioned, I believe it was Lovable, either her or one of the other presenters. Lovable is just one. But even beyond Lovable, how about plain old Gemini? Plain old Gemini. I'll show you in a few moments how you can write your first agent with plain old Gemini. So she took us into the entrepreneurial mindset, you know, collapsing things many, many times, having agents handle the mundane tasks. And when it comes to the people, process, and product, it's about building with intentionality. Empower your people, automate your process, and ship simple, smart products. And I'm going to show you how to build a very simple product in a few seconds. Allie's speech was so good, it was probably the most technically complex for the layman, because if you haven't dabbled into that tech world, a lot of what she was saying might escape you, which is why I'm giving you a practical example. She gave us very good live use cases, automated market scans. You could do that with any of your tools, your AI tools. You could also build support for triage workflows and build code-free operation tools. You don't have to code. She's so funny. She talked about the last time she coded was when dinosaurs roamed the earth. I found that so funny. But a lot of you are coders from a past life. You don't even have to code no more. You don't have to. So anyway, I've got an exercise that I built based on some of the stuff Allie taught. It's a very simple exercise. You got to go to Gemini, right? Gemini.google.com. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So boom, here's my Gemini, okay? I'm going to endeavor to put this in the chat so that you can take part in the exercise right now. And this is what you want to type in. I'm going to put as much as I can into it. All right, so here we go. Let me see how much of this I can. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. I don't think all of it's going to go, though. There's going to be some of it I have to cut off. All right, I probably have to paste this twice. So that's the first part. And then you also want to give it the command not to hallucinate, as these tools can sometimes hallucinate. Okay. And that. And last but not least, the last command I want you to put in, you gotta replace what I put in there with your name. Don't forget to do that. So if we take all the text that I've put in the chat, all of it, just to remind you what we're doing, we're going to take all of this. You are my AI clone, all this stuff. We're going to take all of that. All of that. Oops. All of this. This last one, the tip, is just a reminder for you. So you can take a screenshot and feed it to your tool, but follow along with me. For those of you who say, I don't know how to code, I've never built nothing with AI, follow me real quick. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to hit tools and make sure you are in Canvas. Okay? The next thing you're going to do is paste everything that I shared with you. Let's see if I can paste just as plain text. And then we get rid of this. Let's see. I'm not sure how intelligent it will be, but it probably knows what I'm trying to say. So let me just say, give me opportunity to input business and personal name. All right. So you see what I've done? The only thing I added was this. Give me the opportunity. Let me put it in the chat just in case you're following along, because I really want you to get the this end result. The end result is going to be a mini clone of yourself. So I've given it enough information for it to run with. Your name. Okay. So it wants a little bit more information. And the business role. Creative director role. So dependent, the last time I carried out this exercise, I did not get any dialogue. So it says, I'm ready. Okay, so this GPT or this Gemini wants me to give it a letter. But instead of a letter, I'm going to say, create the app so I can paste in as many as I get when I want. And I'm just going to tell it to build me an app. You see, the thing about AI is if you don't know how it works, you could shortchange yourself. You see what I just did? Like telling it to build the app. If I didn't, I would have been strong-armed into copying and pasting an email for GPT to give me the response. But instead, what I have here, as you can see, is now an actual app. So with this as my app, I am going to take an email that I've drafted, and you could use any email for this, but I've drafted an email. Let me show you what that looks like, just so we're on the same page. So this is an email from Jordan. I'm going to change it to Phil just to make everything consistent. So that's my email. So if I go in here and I paste my email, I'm just going to hit generate email draft. Something has gone wrong, fix the error. This happens a lot in Gemini, and it's normal. Even AI is not, infallible. Sometimes it does make mistakes. So there's a bug somewhere. It says I made some changes. I removed the inline one-click attributes from the buttons. And it explains what it did, but you don't need to worry about that. So let's go ahead and paste it again. And let's hit generate email draft. And this is AI working on your behalf. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for reaching out. I'm glad you enjoyed the summit recap, blah, blah, blah. It's responded. And this is just in a space of less than 5 minutes. Imagine the kind of agent you could build. You know what I mean? If you had more time. So just to give you some context, I'm going to paste this in the chat, and just make sure you are logged into your own version of Gemini, because this will use your Google API key. But I would rather you create your own, because the way I've trained it is on me. Okay, so this is just for the sake of the illustration. Okay. Hey, NLJ, good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. 6:30 a.m. Yes. I'm doing well, my friend. Doing good. I can't complain. I'm still on UK time, as you know. Even though I'm not currently, but I am still on UK time. So my time zones are kind of lost in translation. But I'll get back to the US time zone soon. But anyway, so that's what we got from Allie. It was a very good session. I encourage you to watch it. And the key takeaways from Allie: schedule recurring agent research. This is a very, very good tip for those of you that have automated research that you could do, but you're not doing. There's a report of some sort that you could, get done with AI helping you, and you're doing it all by yourself, and you're not putting it onto a scheduled frequency, then you're missing out. You need to do that. Automate one bottleneck and ship a micro product. Micro product could be one song. It could be something that would add some sort of value to your followers, whatever that might look like. Anyway, the final speaker who actually went before Allie, but I have him here after, is the big man himself, Tony Robbins, who is just an absolute inspiration. Tony delivered a very high energy in his usual style, in his usual raspy voice. Delivered a very high energy keynote on harnessing AI as a multiplier for personal and business transformation. And he emphasized that anyone can shift from survival to extraordinary impact through 5 core qualities. Energy is number 1. Vision is number 2. Decisiveness is number 3. Massive action is number 4. And number 5 is relentlessness. If there was any takeaway, I would tell you, come with the right energy. A lot of people don't have energy because they ain't getting the right level of sleep. Vision is number 2. The good book said, where there's no vision, the people, they perish. It just makes sense. If you don't have direction, you don't have vision, you don't have direction. If you don't have direction, then you don't have purpose. You're just wandering around. And that makes life so boring and useless. So energy, vision, being decisive. Have you ever been to one of those maybe you're not a fast food person. Maybe it's a Starbucks, maybe it's a coffee place, but you got someone who is unable to make up their mind what they want. How much fun is it when you're behind such a person? You don't want to be that person, right? So decisiveness is important. And then take action. After you've decided, take massive action and just be relentless. Tony is he's the energy ritual guy. He tells you, do this, build your energy, to carry out these different rituals, and, not in a spooky way, but just good habits that get you that energy pump. Tony said we're in a once in history acceleration, and he encourages you to be a creator, which goes in line with what we talk about on this channel, right? As opposed to being someone who is waiting, get doing. He defined the creator mindset as taking full ownership of your outcomes, your energy and purpose. So stop waiting for ideal conditions and create momentum through small wins. Energy, vision is important. When you have that vision and you begin baking in strategy, skill, massive action, great things happen. So, boil it down: energy, vision, action. Take massive action. He also talked about don't plan a lifetime, just plan 12 weeks. And that's the equivalent of 3 months, right? Use AI to break massive goals into manageable sprints. And one of the things I would advise you to do, because if your AI truly knows you, you can ask it, what are some ways I can reach goal X? Or what are some of the goals that you would advise that someone with my skill set should have? And so on. And then he transitioned into the close, which is a reminder that AI is here to serve our creativity, which goes in line with what we talk about on this channel. AI is here to serve our creativity and not to replace it. So be encouraged, okay? Those of you who are thinking AI is here and it's the end, a lot of musicians scared. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be scared. The implication for us as creatives in this world of AI is that there has never been a better time for us to thrive as musicians. You see, the AI music market is going to hit a projected $38 billion by 2033. And you know what a number of the musicians are going to be using? 60% of musicians are likely going to be using AI for composition, for mastering, for artwork. But it's a double-edged sword because there's going to be a 17.2% revenue boost from AI-generated tracks. But there are risks like unlicensed data, looming, scaring people away. Honestly, for me, you got to lead with courage. If you truly believe in this world of AI, get on the bandwagon, right? Stop waiting to see what happens next. Just get doing. Learn the technology. Now's a very good time for you to learn the technology. Suno is the obvious leader. Udio, it was good according to a lot of people before they made changes. But even if UMG come with all their new data, honestly, from what I've seen, Suno is in the lead. You got to leverage what Dean was saying. You see, AI will be handling a lot of production tasks in the world of hip hop, in the world of electronic music production, making beats, mixing. I've already finished working on so many drum machines that have already built in a lot of the popular styles. I don't even need to teach them. They know. So imagine that being amplified in the world of music multifold, just in beats and mixing. For musicians, I would say activate AI with your style. Like amplify my neo-grit trap jazz into 5 variations. Because, one of my albums, you can look under Phil the Creator, is the neo-grit trap. That is the music I created for myself because that's the music I want. I want to hear music like that all day. combining hip hop, trap, vocals, and jazz. Vocals like my favorite group called Take Six. So you gotta amplify your style with AI. You know, one idea, AI could transform it in minutes. A good idea to a great idea. Think about that. So for those who keep running away from AI, I feel bad for them. You're going to be left behind by 2033. It's now going to be greater than 50% in the estimation of things. The other thing that we can take away from what was said, Zack talked about unmetered intelligence. AI would democratize music, and that's what the people in these companies, I won't mention their names because they're probably not worth it. I won't mention, you know who they are, trying to control people, strong arm people, bully people. They're going to have big problems. It's just the beginning. Maybe AI will be the agent to wipe the slate clean of these draconian organizations. So my takeaway for you musicians is build a moat, like a kind of synthetic AI human hybrid. Like your live work, don't let the real you be out of the loop. Put a bit of you into the loop. Whether it's your singing style, whether it's your singing range, whether it's the words that you would normally have put into a song. And as time goes on, you're going to be able to clone your voice the same way we are able to clone our speaking voice in 11 labs. It's going to get better at cloning you. I know some tools exist already, yes, but it's only going to get better. And then in closing, the last few things that we learned, ask your AI tool, how can I boost my productivity as a musician? Just ask the question. Start challenging yourself more and more with AI. Okay, my friends. Well, that's all I have for the end of day one with Tony and Dean. Again, if you want to attend tomorrow's awesome seminar, which is happening at 12 p.m. PST, 2 p.m. Eastern, go on down to Dean's page, Dean Graziosi, at Dean Graziosi, and you'll be able to join day 2 and day 3. The links are already up. All right. So that's all you need to do. Don't wait for the future to arrive, my friends. Create it. One smart move at a time. Get smart, get intentional, and get deliberate. That's all I'll say. So thank you again for coming through. I know a lot of our friends have probably gone to bed. Oh, one of our friends, Venom, came through. How you doing, Venom? Very good. Tater tots and chocolate. It sounds like you're having a ball. Well, thank you for coming through. Thank you, NLJ, and everyone else who came through. If you want to attend the seminar tomorrow, let me just go ahead and put Dean's information right there so that anyone watching this video can just jump straight into the seminar tomorrow. I'll put the exact link. How about that? All right. All right, so here's the link for day 2. That's day 2. I think you'll get some really good stuff out of it. Even for the more advanced people like NLJ, who's very advanced in his coding world, I think you'll gain some of the philosophies and motivations. All right. Well, that's all I got for now. Thank you, my friends, for coming through. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.